Today I'm going to be talking about upgrading your nervous system. I trust you can all hear me very well. I was on this island. It was a private island, and it was such an abundant, luxurious experience. We went there by speedboat. We had a private butler. Our house had this most incredibly beautiful view of the ocean. From our bed when we woke up, basically was seeing the ocean. There was spas, there was a steam room, there was every bit of luxury you could imagine. And I became acutely aware of the fact that my nervous system was not accustomed to it because this was a moment where I should simply have relaxed and taken it in, but I wasn't. And this reminded me of why I do what I do, because many of the women I work with, high achieving, purpose driven, impact inspired women, consciously want to create impact in the world, want to have incredible relationships, want better health, want to lose weight, whatever it is, those big goals. And the problem is that you keep saying what it is you want. I used to say what it is I wanted, and it wouldn't happen. And when it didn't happen, I would go into frustration. I would push more. I'll try to find more strategy, more tactics, more of the action, and still wind up back at square one or worse. The code cracked for me when I realized and accepted this one thing, the fact that your conscious mind is important. However, it's only responsible for 5% of your results. The 95% is determined by your subconscious mind. And if your subconscious mind is not in alignment with what you're consciously saying, then it will trigger stress responses in your nervous system and it will sabotage. I'll give you an example. I was on this island. Everything was there at my disposal. I was simply meant to relax and take it in. But because I'm used to taking care of these things myself, a part of my subconscious mind was like, ooh, we don't want to be releasing control of all those things to somebody else. And so, although it was a great thing for somebody else to take care of those things, there was no real reason why I should have to take care of certain things. I was not accustomed. And so I started finding ways to sort of micromanage until I said, okay, I simply get to breathe into this, understand that this is not dangerous for someone to be the one who says where I'm going for dinner, for example, and to truly step into relaxing. And the more I relaxed, the more I enjoyed myself, the more I was able to really take in the beautiful environment that I was in. So I'm telling you this because if you want to manifest anything in your life and you find yourself constantly or often in stress, the stress will basically signal this is not safe. And when something is not safe, your subconscious mind will sabotage it. So the fastest, best way to move from not having an experience to actually living, embodying, having, keeping sustainably that experience is to ensure that your nervous system, your body is able to be calm in the presence of that. So some women I work with say they want love. Awesome. Beautiful thing to desire. And sometimes meet a partner and then find that they would sabotage. And it's a pattern. So what that tells me, because I've been there before, is that consciously you want love, beautiful. However, when you're now in the presence of that man, for example, you don't feel safe. you're not, you feel unsafe with intimacy. You feel deep shame. You don't want him to see, to really get to know you, whatever the reason is. So if your conscious mind is saying, I want a man, and your subconscious is like, this is not a safe experience to have, because your subconscious's 100% priority is to keep you safe, you will not be able either one to meet someone or two to actually engage in a sustainable relationship. Because the primary goal of the subconscious mind is to keep you safe. So I want you to think back at those periods in your life where you were saying you wanted something which was beneficial, which was good for you, and you kept not being able to make it. So it could be love. It could be a certain income level. It could even be losing weight or getting to a weight goal. And you think, but getting to that weight goal is good for me. It's healthier. I feel better. Why am I not achieving it? If your subconscious mind, for some reason, is uncomfortable with that weight, then it will sabotage your efforts. So, how do we rewire the subconscious mind? The first thing is to focus on releasing the shame, the blame, the guilt, that inner critic, that judgmental voice in your head. Because the more you speak to yourself with judgment, the more you keep triggering stress responses in your body. And without stepping into relaxation, you will always be in that fight or flight response, which doesn't allow you transition into something new, because your body's always like, there is danger, there is danger, there is danger. And if it is dangerous, then your subconscious mind will not be on board. So the first thing is, how can you release yourself from that propensity of always being self-critical? How can you step into kindness? How can you start seeing yourself and accepting yourself exactly as you are? You're not perfect, right? So you are flawed at some level, and you are awesome. How can you accept your flawsomeness? So releasing those old negative, low vibrational thought patterns about yourself, about anything, to be honest, is the first phase of regulating your nervous system. The second phase is truly to deepen your relaxation. Anything that you can do to support you in relaxing is great. And I want to tell you this. If just like me, I used to be a complete workaholic. I would work with the intensity of a Formula One driver and the dedication of a doctor on call. And I did that for years. And so at some point that became my comfort zone. My subconscious, my nervous system was comfortable with that. And so relaxation was a danger zone. Like, what am I doing? I felt uncomfortable being still. It was just not comfortable for me. So even the relaxation is something where you're going to get to on rewire, to unlearn the patterns of constantly moving, because that constant movement is actually a form of protecting you, in quotes, from something. There might be emotions you don't want to experience. There might be feelings you don't want to feel. There might be memories you don't want to come up. And so it's very important that, yes, you release. Second, you really deepen your relaxation. And there's so many ways of doing that. And then the third phase is to reconnect with yourself, to truly start walking to the beat of your own heart, to stop being so focused on what everyone wants, what society demands from you, what is required of a good girl, to take off the mask, to really find out who you are, to remember who you are, and to reclaim your own sovereign identity. Because when you show up as your authentic self, that is a beautiful way as you reclaim that power, your subconscious mind, your nervous system gets used to you taking up your own space fully. And that will take work. Because if you're so used to people pleasing, then it may feel viscerally dangerous to say no, to disagree, to stand up and speak up for yourself. So these things are so important. And then when you have reconnected with yourself, this is a beautiful phase now to re-envision your life. And remember, your subconscious wants safety. Safety, which is associated with the comfort of the known. And so re-envisioning is important when you've actually done some work, where opening up to possibility does not feel dangerous, it feels exciting. And so when you get to the stage where you can re-envision your life, this is where I get so excited because women come into my program thinking, oh, I want XYZ. And by the time we get to that stage, it becomes very clear that that XYZ was actually very small compared to what is truly possible. Or that XYZ wasn't truly in alignment with what made the woman's heart beat. And if something is not in alignment with your true heart's desires, then at some level, it's going to stress you. At some level, it's going to cause distress in your life. You may be able to do it for a few, months or years, but it's not something that's going to create the beautiful inner peace that many super high achieving women actually seek. And when we've moved from re-envisioning, when we're able to envision this new life, this next level life, and able to do so with a response from the body that's a full body yes, ooh, we can then step into joy. And joy is an interesting thing because you would say, but joy, everyone wants joy. Normal. I can tell you this. There was a time I had actually forgotten what joy was. I was so focused on the results. I was often in frustration and irritation and impatience and just so focused on the doing that I had forgotten what it was to truly laugh out loud, enjoy the moment, be in my playfulness and femininity. And so joy is so important because the mistake that many super intelligent women make is I will be happy when XYZ happens. And that kind of living puts you in that stress response where, oh, you don't even give yourself permission to be happy until some external objective has been achieved. The problem with that, as you know, is that you can't completely control the external results. That's one. And those results are not constantly there. So it means that you're living a life where you're not happy and then you're happy and then you're not happy and then it's pockets of joy, I call that. What you want to do is become a joy generator. A joy generator is somebody who leverages joy to pull what it is that you want towards you. You become a magnet. And so you choose to feel the joy that you would feel when the objective is achieved now, because you can actually feel on demand that thing that you really desire. How are you going to feel when you have it? You can think of it, you can imagine it, you can embody it, you can feel it now. When you become a joy generator, woof, it means that you are a thermostat. You set the tone of how you are going to feel, of what the room is like when you come in, as opposed to, oh, being a thermometer. And so if things happen in a certain way, you take the temperature and then you're happy. And if they don't, then you're not joyful. So the joy phase is a phase that's so important. And I'll tell you this, a client of mine said the most incredible thing. She said, going through my signature program, she said she realized she was able to truly realize and feel that joy was more real than pain. That in itself is gold because at some point in her existence, pain was the comfort zone. Pain was the safety zone. Pain was what her subconscious mind felt comfortable with. That is what it knew. But through the rewiring of the nervous system, through the program, she now stepped into joy. She was able to experience it. And initially, it was uncomfortable. Of course, it was. It was new, but the rewiring helped to expand her nervous system to appreciate and feel joy. And now, this is something that's more real for her than pain. And when you step into really embodying joy, miracles that is happening in your life, because joy is appreciation, delight, gratitude, inner peace, love, all of those things. And so your vibrational frequency is now one that simply expects miracles, expects people to love you, expects good things to happen for you. As a result, that woman I just told you about, she has met the most incredible man. This was after a divorce. I mean, she got divorced. It was really painful, as you can imagine, really tough. There was a custody battle, and she's met somebody already. People can't believe it, and they're in love, and they are committed to each other. And things are happening in her business. Things are happening with her health. And this is why I talk about being a joy generator, because when you become a joy generator, the next phase is so much more simple. You now step into receiving. Now, receiving people may think is easy. However, receiving means opening up and being vulnerable. It means letting go of control, right? Be clear about your intention, of course. And you don't have to say yes to taking everything that's given to you. However, being able to receive also means being open to things happening in a way that may not be what you planned, which is why I also invite you, when you go through the process of rewiring, to tell yourself when you want something, I want this thing or better. Because when you start priming your brain, this thing or better, then your nervous system also gets on board with the idea that things may not happen exactly as you planned, but those things that are better are safe. So, in terms of rewiring your nervous system, if you want more wealth, and by wealth, I mean better health, more money in the bank, better relationships, love, joy, all of the juiciness of life. First of all, you get to release the shame, the blame, the guilt, those low vibrational negative beliefs, your self-image. And the big one I'm going to invite you to look at is the judgment, judging yourself. I should have done that. I should be better by now. How could I have been so silly? That kind of speaking or self-talk is extremely detrimental in terms of calming and relaxing your nervous system. The second thing that you want to shift is really stepping into relaxation, really understanding what it is like to relax, shoulders down, head over shoulders, breathing, being aware. And one thing that I also realized was that the more I relaxed when I was on this holiday, the more I was physically able to see. And when relaxation is such a beautiful, important thing when it comes to clarity. And so your clarity is not only higher in terms of what you see externally, it's also higher in terms of what you actually perceive and understand about yourself. And you know, a transformation cannot begin without awareness, without self-awareness. So first of all, we release, then we relax, and then we reconnect. You reconnect to your true self. You reclaim who you truly are. You remember your true self. You reclaim your power to yourself. You stop giving it to everyone. And from this phase, you then go into re-envisioning. What's that new life you truly desire when you've moved away all the gunge of the judgment and the shame and the blame, etc. When you're really able to relax, when you've connected with your true self, what do you really want? And then you go into joy. Really, really manifesting and magnetizing from the frequency of joy, which is the frequency of gratitude. And then you go into the phase of receiving. And society will tell you, no, work harder, um, be careful what you receive because you're going to owe people things, right? Um, things like, how can you relax now? Relaxation is a reward. And I will say to you, no, it's a birthright. So there are many things that society has taught you in order to keep you in that logical left brain hustle mode, looking for approval outside of yourself. And those things are good for your boss, maybe. However, are they good for you? Are they good for you? Are they good for the impact you could create, for the relationships you desire to have, for your own physical vitality and health? So, my invitation, if you want any next level experience, whether it's money, love, joy, physical health, and you've been trying for a while and it's not happening, is to look at your subconscious mind, your nervous system. Because if your subconscious mind is not on board, if your nervous system is not in alignment, it cannot contain this next level, then one, you may actually just never get it, or you will get it and you will sabotage it, you lose it because it's too much pressure. If this is something you'd love to talk about, then reach out to me and I would love for you to um, share. What is it that I said that resonated with you? What is it that you believe is your next level? Is it more love? Is it more joy? Is it more health? Right? And let's be honest, let's be vulnerable because there was a time that I felt shame about not being perfect. I felt I needed to be perfect, to show up, to speak up, to share my stories. And I realized that that was such a selfish way to operate because actually it is my pain, it is my the challenges, the questions I have that support other people because other people will have the same things. We think that, oh, I'm the only one. No. If you have a problem, rest assured, several people have it. And when we show up with authentic um, connection and we just share what is, then we can support and serve others. So I'd love to know what you heard me say. If you're listening to this on YouTube, please subscribe to my channel and share with as many friends as possible. I love to work with purpose-driven, impact-inspired women leaders because I believe that when women shift, the world shifts. So let's collectively rewire our nervous systems so that we can now step into the stillness that is required to receive love and light.